welcome to this quick chat, which is part of Laser Focus World's PhotonicsNEXT event. I'm John Wallace, Senior Editor at Laser Focus World, and I'm talking with Doug Henke, Technical Specialist at DCM Tech, which specializes in rotary surface grinders, including precision glass grinders for optics fabrication. First, Doug, could you just talk a little bit about DCM Tech's line of products used in the optics industry?
Sure. Yeah, we I guess a little bit about DCM. We started in 1974 and started more in automotive than industrial, but in the last 5 years, industrial has become a pretty big thing, which glass and the photonics industry in general has become one of our biggest customers. And what we sell is rotary surface grinders. One of the big things that maybe a lot of people don't know about the grinders is how accurate they've become over the last 5 or 10 years compared to some of the old rotary surface grinders back in the day. So we sell grinders from a 12-inch grinder up to a 48-inch grinder. So little pieces of glass or really big chunks. And so we kind of run the gamut. It just kind of goes from 12, 18, 24, 36, 48, and so on, and different horsepowers, and but very accurate machines as well.
So what are some of the advantages of rotary surface style grinder in glass component production? What are some advantages?
Sure. Well, one of the big things would be speed. A lot of the production out there is done on maybe some reciprocating grinding, which is back and forth grinding, whereas our rotary surface grinders, they're moving on a mag chuck, or I should say a fixture on a chuck, and they pass over the entire part every rotation. So instead of going back and forth and taking up a big chunk of your time, every pass by you're taking off a chunk of material there. So that's one of the biggest ones right there, would be the speed of it. Precision is another thing where we're getting down into the millionths as far as flatness and so on and so forth, which is very huge, obviously, in the optics area. And we on our machines, we can on DCM machines, we're able to control the speeds as well, which is different than some of the other methods, meaning we can grind off some material and get it really flat, and then at the end adjust speed to put a different finish on it. So that allows us to kind of make changes on the fly and get the flatness and the correct RA finish at the end. And we can use many different wheels, from polishing wheels to just regular 2A 2T super abrasive style wheels, which is pretty common now in the glass industry. So I guess those are some of the 3 big main things of using a rotary surface grinder.
So how does a machine like this affect the entire production process?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's something that we're learning more and more as we go in this industry, is because of the precision of the grinders now and the types of wheels and our ability to adjust the speeds and feed rates of the parameters. We've now kind of, when you look at the entire process, a lot of glass and ceramic, sapphire, quartz, all this type of stuff usually end up in some sort of lapping process, and it could be 3, 4, 5, 6 different lapping processes with different types of slurries along the way. And we typically can't get all the way to the end, but we can surely knock off, in a lot of cases, we'll knock off 2 or 3 of those lapping processes. So in all reality, and a lot of times we've found, per part, we're minimizing times by, hours, just knocking off a few of them. And we can get down to some pretty, fine grit wheels and get a very nice finish on them. So I think that's one of the biggest things. It's not very well known that a grinder would be involved in the lapping process, but it surely is, especially in the first couple of steps of that. It's something that everyone, if they're doing lapping, should at least take a look at whether or not the grinder is something that would work for them. It's worth checking out.
Are there any new technologies in grinding that our audience should be aware of?
Yeah, there's quite a few things, especially in grinding. When you think of grinding, you think of the old just stick it in there and hit go and grind a bunch of metal off, and that's too, far from the truth now. Where we're doing robots integrated with the machines. It's becoming a big thing, and obviously robots will probably get there. Everyone probably using them here in a few years anyway. We also use a lot of different sensors. So we have a sensor that can tell us when it touches the part, so that we don't slam into it and cause any type of cracking or anything. So obviously subsurface cracking and that type of thing in the photonics industry. So we have a sensor that usually detects the parts within millionths, and then you'll start the grind cycle after that. And another big one in this industry would be the load sensor. So we can tell the machine we don't want to go above a certain load, and that's to prevent subsurface cracking or even just cracking the entire part itself or damaging it in any way. So the sensors, load sensors, and the sensor that actually sets zero for you is something that's pretty new, as well as the robots. So those are some new technologies, especially in the grinding area.
So, the idea is to really reduce chipping, edge chipping and subsurface damage by precision process.
Yep, and those sensors allow you to do that. If you're manually setting that, and if there's some guesswork and some artwork, and if you're doing that manually, and that is where you usually get a lot of your defects. When you get into the sensors, that really minimizes the human interaction anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So those are, I think, kind of probably the big things that have changed recently in the grinding industry that most people probably aren't aware of.
Yeah.
It's
interesting.
Like I said, it's different when people think of grinding. They just don't think of photonics.
Right. Although they do in our industry, but it's good to hear about this precision rotary grinding process.
Yes, exactly. Correct.
So, well, thank you, Doug. Do you have any closing remarks you'd like to make?
I just would like to say I appreciate the time and, getting the word out there. And if anyone has any of these processes that they may think might work, just give us a call, where we do free sample grinds. We surely would give anyone a chance to get their product in, see if we can't save them some time. And that's all free to the, potential customers. So we look forward to hearing from them.
All right. Well, on behalf of Laser Focus World, I'd like to thank our guest, Doug Henke of DCM Tech, for joining us at this PhotonicsNEXT event for this excellent quick chat about precision rotary grinding of optics.